I hate to ask this question because there's no reason why we shouldn't have this conversation right now. What is going on with this Chaz Coleman situation? And I know it's a bit early to speculate and get into, but not showing up for the spring game, not dressing out for it. What's the deal with them? What's the deal with what's going on behind the scenes out there in Knoxville, Tennessee? Let's talk about it some more. Welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Southern Sports Scene. I am your host, as always, Lucas Hill. Make sure you do us a favor. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button down below. Turn up on the bell notifications so that you are notified every time we go live, posting a video or posting a short here on the Southern Sports Scene. Every live show brought to you by our good friends over at Frostbuddy. Going over to frostbuddy.com, use the promo code SSS15 to get 15% off of your first purchase. Also, thank you to our friends over at Chaz Nutrition. With 20 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and 1 gram of fat, you can get the best start to your day every time with a nice, fresh cup of coffee from our friends at Chaz Nutrition Products. Okay, what is the deal with Chaz Coleman? So last week, we got news regarding his involvement with spring practice and saying that Josh Heupel does not want to kick him off the team. And apparently, he is not adjusting well to being far away from home. They paid this kid $3.5 million in NIL. No, this is not a Boo Carter situation. I completely agree. This is completely irrelevant to the Boo Carter situation. Boo Carter was just being an ass. That's the bottom line. I don't know if this is the same thing as what's going on with Chaz Coleman, but here is the thing. You are a grown man. You are going to have to make grown man decisions. He made his decision to leave Penn State to go to Tennessee because he wanted to follow his defensive coordinator that recruited him out of high school. I get it. I understand it's hard adjusting. It's never going to be easy. Guys, the talent is there for the kid. I think he has all of the talent in the world to be an elite defensive end at this level. The problem is that he is not focusing on football for 12 months out of the year. He has to. He has no choice but to do so. Guys, had 3 sacks last year, a forced fumble, by the way, in 9 games that he played. But here's the whole underlying truth behind it. I do believe that Tennessee spent a lot on this kid. And to be quite honest with you, I don't know if there is a whole lot that I can say that's been relatively positive about Chaz other than his edge rush capability. When it comes to his run stopping, he does struggle with that. He does kind of tend to get lost in the mix in the backfield at the end of the day. I do believe that he was overrated coming out of the portal. From what I hear, too, is that he quit 4 games last year, had a lot of missed tackles. I get that he's going to get developed at this level and at Tennessee, but he's got to be able to make grown man decisions. I don't think he's in that mind frame right now. That's not what you want from a guy, especially at this level in college football. In my opinion, this is a Tennessee issue as well. They got in way over their head when they saw this kid in the portal. I don't think they looked at the bigger picture. That's just my opinion. I think there's so much that this kid can do at this level, but he hasn't shown it through spring. And him not being at the spring game, I don't think that he cares. And look, it's such a bizarre situation, to say the least. What Josh Heupel had to say about him is that there is some optimism about him, but again, they don't want to let him go. I don't know if they will let him go, but again, you're talking about a guy that has had issues with him getting on the field. I heard that he's not really doing well with his teammates either. But we'll see what happens in that regard. When it comes to this situation as a whole, when we talk about top-tier guys and they have issues like this, the first thing that comes to mind is what happened last year with the Micah Hudson situation. If you remember around this time last year, Micah Hudson was at Texas Tech when he first got there. He missed spring practice due to a knee injury. Showed out in his first year, 8 catches, $123, and averaged over 15 yards a catch. Guys, the kid had a lot of talent. He was the highest rated recruit in Texas Tech history. I think he was either the number 1 or 2 receiver in the class of 2024. He was a top 5 receiver in that class. Ends up going into the transfer portal in December, announces that he's going to go to A&M, and then a month later, he said that he would be temporarily stepping away from the team. 3 months later, it comes out that he left Texas A&M and entered back to the portal. Now he's back at Texas Tech. The thing about that is that he was also not adjusting well with Texas A&M. In my opinion, I think he got lost because there was other competition that was around him that, quite frankly, I think that he found out quickly he wasn't going to be the number 1 receiver. And I think that got to him. I think that being away from, because he's from Belton, Texas, and he went to Lake Belton High School. But the thing about it is that he was 5.5 hours away from home. And I think College Station is it's literally an hour and a half from his hometown. So I don't know what happened in that whole department. They said he was struggling with mental health issues. I have no idea what happened with that whole situation. That was a very, very quiet thing that happened at the end of the day. He had Chaz Coleman's situation is very similar because he was given an opportunity to stay. I think if Micah Hudson had not transferred this past year, I think he'd be getting a lot more touches, and I think he would have gotten a lot more playing time. But because he stepped away for that period of time, that's a period of time where you don't have to grow, where you don't have time to develop. And ultimately, that's what bit him in the ass, is that situation. Do I think that the two situations that we have right now with Chaz Coleman and Micah Hudson in correlation with each other? Very likely so. Do I think that Chaz Coleman is going to step away from Tennessee for a while? No, I don't think so. But if here's what I'm thinking, is that if he would have gone to Ohio State, I don't think this situation happens. Because he's talking about he's far away from home. Well, then why did you transfer from Warren G. Harding High School in Ohio and go to Pennsylvania? Were you far away from home in Pennsylvania? Then you go down to Tennessee, and now you're really far away from home. I think that's an excuse for him. I don't know if he wants to be at Tennessee, but we'll see, man. There's no two-time portal window. I think if we had the spring transfer portal window still open, man, I think he would have hit the portal and left. Honest to God's opinion about that. Hopefully he gets his stuff together, man, and I hope we don't have a situation like this again. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think is going on with Chaz Coleman? I have a lot to say about that. We'll have our State of the Program series on Tennessee pretty soon, and we will definitely dive into that. But, guys, make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe down below. Turn the bell notifications so that you are notified every time we go live, posting a video or posting a short here on the Southern Sports Scene. And as always, guys, stay blessed. Don't stress. Y'all have a great rest of